With an Emmy for her work on China Beach, Marge Helgenberger was finally getting the kind of recognition that could lead to the dream of any television actor appearing on the big screen. Among those who recognized her work was director Steven Spielberg.
That was a thrill for me, you know. And he's a big TV fan. A lot of people don't necessarily know that about him, but he does like television and was a fan of the show. And in fact, those were his first words to me. I'm a big fan of yours. So I was like, oh, where do you go from there?
Where Marge went was into her first feature film, Always, produced and directed by Spielberg. But the movie was a critical and financial failure. With the cancellation of China Beach in 1991, Marge continued to pursue roles in high-profile feature films. But in a town where you're only as good as your last picture, it was a tough sell.
She was, you know, the first or second choice behind the person that got it, and it was exhilarating and very disappointing because I think that everybody recognized what her talent is, but it's a really difficult thing to break in to getting those leading roles in films opposite, you know, the De Niros of the world.
That kind of high-level rejection can quickly destroy an actor's self-esteem, but Marge took it in stride.
Marge's the type of person who she can get pissed off, you know, and you can really feel her frustration or anger, and then the next telephone call you have with her, she's laughing, and I won't use the word, but it'll be like, them.
Marge kept working in television, entering the world of made-for-TV movies and miniseries, where starring roles were plentiful. Unfortunately, several of them, like Stephen King's The Tommyknockers, received less than stellar reviews.
The fact is, TV movies tend to be somewhat underwritten or sort of generic in their conception, but having stars like Marge Helgenberger coming into them does tend to give them a little bit more of a sheen, just because they tend to bring more with their own presence. She was usually better than the movie that she was in, and that was pretty much the case with just about everything she did.
Her feature films like My Fellow Americans and Fire Down Below didn't fare much better. But pro or con, Marge put a positive spin on the critical feedback.
The stuff that I felt good about, I tended to get good reviews for. The stuff that I didn't feel so good about didn't get good reviews. So either way, I felt like I got validated, either because I knew something was not good or, well, maybe I did something right.
Meanwhile, her husband Alan's career was taking off with his role as attorney Eli Levinson on the series Civil Wars, which he continued on LA Law. Female viewers adored him. TV Guide, in fact, named him one of television's most unlikely heartthrobs. Was Marge jealous?
Alan got great amusement out of that. It was great fodder for him to, like, sort of boast about the fact that he was the thinking woman sex symbol. And so the whole thing was pretty amusing.
Which is not to say everything was always sunshine and roses in the Rosenberg-Helgenberger household, especially with two dedicated actors like Marge and Alan.
We've had arguments actually in our home where they were the characters we were playing arguing with each other, and then we realized that halfway through the argument and get back to Marge and Alan.
Both Marge and Alan put family first. Not the easiest thing in a profession where 9 to 5 is only the name of an old movie. When their son Hugh was a baby, Marge could take him with her on location. But once Hugh entered school, that became impossible. Now Marge spent more time missing him than holding him. Yet work was work, and by the mid-1990s, Marge's success rate with the projects she chose was improving. In 1995, she starred in the hit sci-fi feature Species. Then came a memorable 6 weeks as George Clooney's girlfriend on ER. Even after she turned 40, that delicate age when roles can start to taper off for an actress, Marge was still in demand for TV work.
You do have to fight age bias, but if she's right for the role and she's within the arena, it's not an issue, because she looks so fabulous that it's not like they say, oh, she's a beaten down version of whatever her age is. I mean, she looks better than most people look, you know, in their 30s.
Yet what still eluded Marge was a strong role in a big-budget A-list movie. But her manager, Nancy Sanders, never stopped looking and finally thought she had struck gold. The script was called Erin Brockovich. Julia Roberts was to star in this true story of a single mom who uncovered one of the worst cases of industrial pollution in American history. The part that seemed perfect for Marge was that of a housewife and mother stricken by cancer from the industrial waste. There was only one problem.
Steven Soderbergh, who was the director, said he didn't think that she was right for it.
But they said, you know, if you want to be put on tape, of course you can be put on tape with the casting director.
And at Marge's level, you don't really go on tape ever. Most of the time you don't even audition.
And I said, man, hey, I want to play the part. I think I can play this part in my sleep. I really felt that way.
Using her mother's own battle with breast cancer as inspiration, Marge prepared for the tape by working with acting coach Sharon Chatton.
She sat there and was so involved with this woman and what she was going through that she fell apart. I fell apart. I kept trying to read the other lines across from her, and I was unable to do it.
As soon as he saw the tape, director Steven Soderbergh changed his mind. When Erin Brockovich premiered in the spring of 2000, Marge's performance touched the hearts of critics and audiences alike.
You think if you got no uterus and no breasts, you're still technically a woman?
Sure you are. Yeah, you're actually a happier woman because you don't have to worry about maxi pads and underwire.
We're gonna get them, Erin, aren't we? You gotta promise me that we're gonna get them.
For Marge's mother, her daughter's performance was more than just another part. It was a mirror.
I just was almost blown away. I thought, gosh, I could almost see myself a little bit. And then I thought, nah, I'm just, And afterwards, my husband Lee looked at me and he said, whoa, if she wasn't playing you, I don't know who